The Bluffs City Council on Monday, June 12, authorized Mayor Matt Walsh to finalize the city's efforts to assume ownership of the Western Historic Trails Center and surrounding property. Previously the responsibility of the State Historical Society of Iowa, a division of the Department of Cultural Affairs, the Trails Center has fallen into disuse over the last few years after the state determined it was no longer interested in maintaining the facility. There are no concrete plans for the property once the city assumes control, though a number of organizations have expressed interest, including the River Valley Trail Riders, who use the land adjacent to the Trails Center, the River Valley Off-Highway Vehicles Park, for off-roading with all-terrain vehicles and dirt bikes. The River Valley Park property has been closed since June 2018, when the Missouri River flooded the land. Built in 1997 for $12.6 million, the Trails Center was expected to become a tourist destination, drawing 500,000 people each year, and generating $30 million for the local economy. A partnership with the National Park Service, the center in the past interpreted the Lewis and Clark, California, Oregon, and Mormon Pioneer Trails. The Western Historic Trails Center covers 480 acres of river bottom adjacent to the Missouri River and Interstates 80 and 29. When asked about the city taking ownership of the Trails Center, Mayor Walsh answered with an apocryphal tale set in the mid-1980s about the state of Iowa trying to determine what sort of culturally meaningful site it should build in Council Bluffs, something that would potentially increase tourism. There were two ideas, Walsh said. One was the Trails Center, which would focus on the intersection of four historically significant trails, Lewis and Clark, Oregon, California, and Mormon, that various parties took west, and the other was a Trucker Hall of Fame. Walsh said, they should have gone with the Trucker Hall of Fame. The city would like to use the Trails Center and surrounding property for recreational purposes, possibly turning the building into a rec center and building some ball fields. The Trails Center needs some work before it can be in use regularly again. The roof needs to be replaced, and, due to the leaks from the ceiling, there might be a mold problem, according to the city council. Most recently, the Trails Center was used as a COVID-19 testing site during the pandemic. Okay. Sorry I had to roll my eyes. COVID testing in a building with a mold problem. Hope the mold came after the testing was complete. The grounds, just east of the old museum, there are fairly new baseball and soccer fields. When I passed by, there were at least 4 different games going on. The parking lot for the old museum is closed, but you can still park on the road to access the trails. The main trails seem popular to ATV users. In the 2 hours I was walking around, I had 13 ATVs pass by and 2 mountain bikes. It was a bit hard to enjoy nature, with the noise of the ATVs. I started to get my hopes up when I found a smaller trail, labeled Missouri River Trail. It is a narrower trail and looked like just a few footprints and a couple mountain bike prints in the dirt. The trail led to the edge of the Missouri River and then looked like it was going to start following the river downstream. Unfortunately, just around the next turn, somebody created a log barricade across the trail with sharpened sticks for spikes. Being my stubborn thick-headed self, I pushed my way through. Around the next turn, I found myself on the edge of a small, somewhat temporary tent and tarp encampment, large enough for a few families. The trail led into the center of their camp. At that point I turned around and gave up on this park. Now, I respect people needing to do what it takes to survive. But just a suggestion, if you end up homeless and you need to set up a camp somewhere, please have some courtesy and don't put your living space in the middle of a trail. To keep people from tramping through your living space, it would be much better to set up camp off the trail to one side. I do not recommend this park if you're out trying to enjoy nature. Unless you're out people watching.